Just over 2 months ago, I got the chance to take my first ever visit up to Fårup Sommerland. Being located in northern Denmark, this wasn't the easiest part to get to. However, we knew that in April 2022, the park would open one of the best roller coasters in Europe. This was of course Fønix, and I have to say that after my 6 rides on the opening day, it definitely didn't disappoint. But if we start with the appearance, Fønix has one of the best colour schemes on any roller coaster out there. The reason why I say this is due to having both green track and also white supports. And if you don't already know, the general theme for Fårup Sommerland is the forest, and I have to say that they definitely made a great decision. However, in terms of their theming, Fønix has a nice entrance line along with a decent queue line, and even though it's not on the level of rides like Nemesis or Alton Towers, it was still great to see. Something else which I wanted to point out was the station, and this was by far the most themed part of the coaster. It's got some nice banners along with the great wooden effect. However, once the air gates open, you'll then board the trains, and just like most Vekomas out there, each of the 2 trains can hold a total of 16 riders, meaning that it can hold a total of 900 guests per hour, and even though it isn't that many for a large scale coaster, on my visit the most we had to wait was only 15 minutes. However, just like the track and supports, the trains also had a great colour scheme. This is due to one of the trains mainly being red and with the other being yellow, and as much as this is quite uncommon, it still looks amazing. Also not to mention that it also had the Fønix logo on both the Zero car and also the seats. However, once you pull down your restraint, you'll realise that the coaster has both a lap bar and also some comfort collars, and before riding I wasn't actually expecting for the restraints to be that great. However, even though the comfort collars can be quite tight, it didn't really bother me and it still allowed for some great airtime. However, in terms of the layout, Fønix starts off with a pre-drop section, and over the last 5 years we've seen Vekoma bring more of these to their coasters, and even though it was only a left hand turn, it was still quite fun. Something else to point out was that this is when you realise how smooth the coaster actually is. However, after this you'll start to ascend the 131 foot lift hill. This gives you some great views over the park and also the surrounding area, and this is by far the best view of the park. But after this, the train will then start to slow down, and even though it does take away from some of the airtime, it still gives you a longer time to appreciate the view. However, after this, the train will then bring you down the first drop, and out of my 6 rides I got to experience the front, middle and also the back, and I have to say that the first drop was definitely best in the back row. This is due to getting some of the best airtime in the country. However, even this is the case, you do also get some great hang time on the front row. After this, you'll then reach the coaster's max speed of just 59 miles an hour, and even though it doesn't sound like a lot, it definitely warms up throughout the day. However, after you clear the first drop, you will then start to rise up into its first inversion, and this is by far the most unique part of the ride. This is due to this being the world's first stall loop, and I have to say that it gives you some great hang time whilst heading through it. However, in my opinion, the best part of this element was the exit. This is due to it essentially being a twisted drop, and I have to say that it was actually quite intense, and unlike the first drop, I actually preferred the front to the back. However, after this you then head into a right hand turn before going up into an airtime hill, and as much as it didn't really give any airtime, it was still a fun element. After that you then head up into my personal favourite element on the coaster, and as much as you can find these all over the world, I have to say that the Heartline Run Fønix was definitely the best I've experienced. Something else to point out was that even if you were in the middle of the train, you still got some great airtime whilst heading through it. However, after this, the coaster then brings you through a couple of airtime hills, and as much as the first 2 were great, the third one was by far the best. This is due to again some great sideways airtime, but after this you then head through a corkscrew, and even though it's quite a standard element, what made it so great was its interaction. We saw this first back in 2017 with Let Coaster at Legendia, and I have to say that it's one of the best head chopper moments in the country. Also not to mention that you also get a bit of airtime whilst heading through it. After this, the coaster then brings you up into a twisted airtime hill, and even though it wasn't as great as some of the other airtime hills, it still gives some decent airtime throughout the train. However, after this you then head up into 5 more airtime moments before heading into the brake run, and in terms of the smoothness, Fønix is the smoothest roller coaster I've ever been on, and even though the track profiling was amazing, what made it even better were the trains. These resulted in no rattle and just a very smooth roller coaster. But something else which I really wanted to point out was the pacing, and I have to say that Fønix has some of the best pacing in the country. This is due to the coaster never really slowing down and also giving airtime after every hill. However, the only way this could be affected is by a morning ride, and on my first ride I only got the 3rd train of the day. As much as it was still amazing, you could definitely feel the coaster slowing down at points. However, something else to mention is that I also rode the coaster in early spring, and this could definitely be another reason why I wasn't running as fast. However, if you want to ride it at its full potential, I'd personally recommend experiencing it within the summer months. This is due to the coaster likely hauling around the track and also giving much longer airtime. However, what's my overall opinion on Fønix? Fønix is my personal favourite roller coaster on the planet, and even though I've only been on 142 roller coasters, I have to say that this was definitely the perfect addition for the park. So for my overall score, I'd personally give it a 10 out of 10. However, what is your opinion on Fønix? Make sure to leave any thoughts down in the comments below. Thank you for watching, I'll see you in the next one.